Alright, how now? Act 3. Macbeth. Scene 1. For us a room in the palace. Thou hast it now, king, cotter, glamis, all, as the weird woman promised, and I fear thou playest most foully for it, yet it was said it should not stand in thy posterity. But that myself should be the root and father of many kings, if there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine, why by the verities on these made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope. But hush, no more. Here's our chief guest. If he had been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our great feast, and all thing unbecoming. Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence. Let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are with the most indissoluble tie forever knit. Ride you this afternoon? Ay, my good lord. We should have else desired your good advice, which still hath been both grave and prosperous, in this day's council, but we'll take tomorrow as far you ride. As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper. Go not, my horse, the better. I must become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain. Fail not our feast. My lord, I will not. We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling their hearers with strained invention. But if that's tomorrow, when therewithal we shall have cause of state, craving us jointly. Hie you to horse. Adieu. Still you return it tonight. Goes Flint's with you? Ay, my good lord. Our time does call upon's. I wish your horse swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be a master of this time, till 7 at night, to make a society the sweeter welcome. We'll keep ourselves till supper times alone, while then God be with you. Sarah, a word with you. Attend those men, our pleasure. They are, my lord, at the palace gate. Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty nature reigns that which we fear. 'Tis much he dares, and to that dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valor, to act in safety. There is none but he, whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked, as it is said, Mark Antony was by Caesar. He chid the sisters, when first they put the name of king upon him, and bade them speak to him, then prophet-like they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my gripe, thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo issue have I filled my mind, for them the gracious Duncan have I murdered. Put rancors in the vessel of my peace, only for them and mine eternal jewel, given to the common enemy of man, to make them kings. The seed of Banquo kings, rather than so, come faith into the list, and champion me to the utterance. Who's there? Attend it with the 2 murderers. Now go to the door and stay there till we call. Was it not yesterday we spoke together? It was, so please your highness. Nay. Well then, now, have you considered my speeches? Know that it was he in the times past which held you so under fortune, which you thought had been our innocent self. This I made good to you in our last conference, passed in probation with you, how you were borne in hand, how cross the instruments who wrought with him, and all things else that might to half a soul and to a notion praised, say, thus did Banquo. You made it known to us. I did so, and went further, which is now our point of second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature, that you can let this go? Are you so gospel to pray for this good man and for his issue? whose heavy hand hath bowed you to his grave, and beggared yours forever. We are men, my liege. Aye, in the catalogue ye go for men, as hounds and greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, curs. The water rugs and demi-wolves are clept all by the name of dogs. The valued file distinguishes the swift, the slow, the subtle, the housekeeper, the hunter, every one according to the gift which bounteous nature hath him enclosed, whereby he doth receive particular addition from the bill that writes them all alike, and so of men. Now, if you have a station in the file, not I the worst rank of manhood, say it, and I will put the business in your bosoms, whose execution takes your enemy off. Grapple as you to the hearts that love us, who wear our health, but sickly in his life, which in his death were perfect. I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world have so incensed that I am reckless what I do to spite the world. And I another, so weary with disasters, tugged with fortune, that I would set my life, or on any chance, to min it or be rid on't. Both of you know Banquo was your enemy. True, my lord. So is he mine, and in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrust against my nearest of life, and though I could with bare-faced power sweep him from my sight, and bid my will about it, yet I must not. For certain friends that are both his and mine, whose love I may not drop, but wail his fail, whom I myself struck down, and thence it is that I to your assistance do make love, making the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons. We shall, my lord, perform what you command us. Though our lives, your spirits shine through you, with this an hour at most I will advise you where to plant yourselves, acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time. The moment on foot must be done tonight, and something from the palace always thought that I require clearness, and with him to leave due rubs nor touches on the work. Flint's his son, that keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart, I'll come to you anon. We are resolved, my lord. I'll come upon you straight, abide with him. It is concluded, Banquo, thy soul's flight. If it find heaven, must find it out tonight. Scene 2. The same, another room in the palace. Is Banquo gone from court? Aye, madam, but returns again tonight. Say to the king I would attend his leisure for a few words. Madam, I will. Not had all spent. Where our desires got without content, 'tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? Authorious fancies your company is making, using those thoughts which should indeed have died with me, may you think on? Things with all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done. We have scotched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let's the frame of things disjoint both the worlds, suffer ere we will eat our meal in fear, and sleep in affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we to gain our peace have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After lies fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst, nor steel, nor poison mouse, domestic foreign levy, nothing can touch him further. Come on. Gentle, my lord, sleek o'er your rugged looks. He, bright and jovial among your guests tonight. So shall I love, and so I pray by you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him eminence, both with eye and tongue. Unsafe the while that we must have our honors in these flattering streams. How now? Reloading. And make our faces visitors to our hearts, disguising what they are. You must leave this. Oi, full of scorpions in my mind, your wife. Thou knowest that Banquo and Fleets lives, but in them nature's copies not. They turn. Such comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou opened. Ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight ere to black, he sates summons. The shard-born beetle with his drowsy hums hath rung night's yawning peal. There shall be done a deed of dreadful note. What's to be done? Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till they'll applaud the deed. Come sealing night, scarf up to the tender eye of pitiful day, and with a bloody invisible hand cancel and tear a pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Light thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good things today begin to droop and drowse, whilst night black agents to the praise do rouse. They're marvelous as my words would hold these still. Things bad begun with make them strong in themselves by ill. So prithee go with me. Hansel and Gretel. Scene 3. The same a park with a road leading to the palace. But who did bid thee join with us? MacBeth. He needs not our mistrust, since he delivers our offices and what we have to do to the direction just. Then stand with us. The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day, now spurs the lated traveler's space. To gain the timely inn, and near approaches the subject of our watch. Hark, I hear horses. Give us a light there, ho. Then to see the rest that are within the note of the expectation already, are I the court. His horses go about almost a mile, but he does usually as all men do, from hence to the palace's gate, make it their walk. A light, 'tis he. Stand toot. It'll be a rain tonight. Let it come down. Oh, treachery, fly, good fleets, fly, 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 fly. Thou mayest revenge, O slave. Who did strike out the light? Oh, it's not the way. There's but one down, the sun has fled. We have lost. Best half of our affair. Well, let's away and say how much is done. Scene 4. The same a room of state to the palace. You know your own degrees. Sit down at first and last. The hearty welcome. Thanks to your majesty, ourself will mingle with society and play the humble host. Our hostess keeps her state, but in the best time we will require her welcome. Pronounce it for me, sir, to all our friends, for my heart speaks they are welcome. See, they encounter thee with their heart's thanks. Both sides are even here, I'll sit at I the midst. Be large in mirth, anon, we'll drink a measure the table round. There's blood upon thy face.
You've got a loadout drop in.
'Tis Banquo's then. 'Tis better thee without than thee within. Is he dispatched? My lord, his throat is cut, that I did for him. Thou art the best way the cuts throats, yet is good that it did he the like for fleets. If thou didst it, thou art the non-peril. Most royal sir, Fleance escaped. Then comes my fit again. I had else been perfect, whole as the marble, found as the rock, as broad and general as a casing air. But now I am cabined, cribbed, confined, bound in to saucy doubts and fears. But Banquo safe? Ay, my good lord, safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trench gashes on his head, the least a death to nature. Thanks for that. There the grown serpent lies. The worm that's fled hath nature that in time will venom breed. No teeth for the present. Get thee gone. Tomorrow we hear ourselves again. My royal lord, you do not give the cheer, the feast is sold, that is not often vouched, while 'tis a making, 'tis given with welcome to feed were best at home. From this the sauce to meat is ceremony, meeting were bare without it. Sweet remembrance, now good digestion wait on appetite, and health on both. May it please your highness sit. Here had we now our country's honor roofed, with the grace person of our Banquo present, who may I rather challenge for unkindness and pity for mischance. His absence, sir, lays blame upon the promise. Please your highness grace us with your royal company. The table's full. Here's a place reserved, sir. Where? Here, my good lord, what is't that moves your highness? Which of you have done this? What, my good lord? Thou canst not say I did it. Never shake thy glory lock Bethany. Gentlemen, rise, his highness is not well. Sit, worthy friend, my lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. Pray you, keep seated. The fit is momentary, and upon thought he will again be well. If much you note him, you shall offend him in compassion. Feed and regard him not. Are you a man? Aye, and a bold one. They dare look on that, which might appall the devil. Oi, proper stuff. This is the very painting of our. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. Oi, these flaws and starts. Impostors to true fear would well become a woman's story at a winer's fire, authorized by her grand dame. Shame itself. Why do you make such faces? When all's done, you look but on a stool. Prithee, see there. Behold, look low. How say you? Why, what care I, if thou canst not, speak too. If charnel house and our graves must send those that we bury back, our monuments shall be the maws of kites. What? Quite unmanned in folly? If I stand her, I saw him. Fly for shame. Blood hath been shed ere now, I the golden time, ere human statute purge the gentle wheel. Aye, and since 2 murders have been performed, too terrible for the ear, the times have been that when the brains were out, the man would die, and there an end. But now they rise again with 20 mortal murders on their crowns, and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is. My murder lord, your noble friends do lack you. I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love and health to all. Then I'll sit down. Give me some wine, fill full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table. And to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss, would he were here, to all and him we thirst, and all to all. Our duties and pledge. Avaunt, and quit my sight. Let the earth hide thee. Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold. Thou hast no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with. Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom 'tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time. What man dare I dare, approach thou like the rugged Russian bear, the armed rhinoceros, or the Hyceran tiger. Take any shape but that, and my firm nerves shall never tremble, or be alive again, and dare me to the desert with thy sword. Is trembling eye and habit then protest me, the baby of a girl? Hence, horrible chateau, unreal mockery, hence. Why so being gone? I'm a man again, pray you, sit still. You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting, with most admired disorder. Can such things being overcome us like summer's cloud without our special wonder? You make me strange, even to the disposition I owe. When now I think you can behold such sights and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks, when mine are blanched with fear. What sights, my lord? I pray you, speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Enemy UAV is online.
Good night, and better health attend his majesty. A kind good night to all. It will have blood, they say blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move trees to speak. Augurs and understand relations by magpies and chows, the rooks, and brought forth the secret smell of blood. What is the night? Almost at odd with morning, which is which? How sayst thou, but MacBeth denies his person at our great bidding? Did you send to him, sir? I hear it by the way, but I will send. There's not a one of them but in his house. I keep a servant feed. I will tomorrow, and betimes I will to the weird sisters. More shall they speak, for now I am bent to know why the worst means the worst. For my own good all causes shall give way. I am in blood stepped in so far that should I wade no more, returning were it so tedious as go ere. Strange things I have in heed that will hand, which must be acted ere they babies scanned. You lack the reason of all natures. Sleep. Come with the sleep. My strange and self-abuse
Your squad mate won
is the
fight.
initial sphere that once hard youth. We are yet but young indeed. Scene 5, a heath. Why, how now? Kate, you look angrily. Have I not reason? Beldomed as you are, saucy and bold. How did you dare to trade and traffic with MacBeth in riddles and affairs of death? And I, the mistress of your charms, the close contriver of all harms, was never called to bear my part, or show the glory of our art. And which is worse, all you have done, spiteful and wrathful, who, as others do, lust for his own ends, not for you. But if make amends now, get you gone. And at the pit of Acheron, meet me I the morning, thither he will come to know his destiny. Your vessels and your spells provide, your charms and everything beside. I am for the air. This night I'll spin unto a dismal and fatal end. Great business must be wrought ere noon. Upon the corner of the moon
Precision airstrike
there hangs
available.
a vaporous drop profound. I'll catch it ere it come to ground, and that, distilled by magic sleights, shall raise such artificial sprites as by the strength of their illusion shall draw him up to his confusion. He shall spurn fate, scorn death, and bear his hopes above wisdom, grace, and fear, and you all know security is mortal's chiefest enemy. Hark, I am called, my little spirit, see? Sits in a foggy cloud and stays for me. Come, let's make haste. She'll soon be back again.
Contract failed.
Scene
Objective
6,
lost.
for the room in the palace. My former speechless have but hit your thoughts, which can interrupt further. Only I say, things have been strangely born. The gracious Duncan was pitied of MacBeth. Marry, he was dead, and the right valiant Banquo walked too late. Whom you may say, if it please you, Flint's killed, for Flint's fled. Men must not walk too late. We cannot want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm, for the Donalbin, to kill their gracious father. Damned fact. How it did grieve MacBeth. Did he not straight in pious rage the two delinquents tear, that were the slaves of drink and thralls of sleep? Was not that nobly done? Aye, nay, and wisely too. For 'twould have angered any hearts alive to hear the men deny it. So that I say, he was born all things well. And I do think that, had he Duncan's son under his key, as in please heaven he shall not, they should find what would kill a father, so should Flint. But peace. For from my broad words, and cause he failed, his presence at the tyrant's feast I hear, MacDuff lives in disgrace. Sir, can you tell where he bestows
Enemy
himself?
precision airstrike. Find cover.
The son of Duncan, from whom the tyrant holds the due of birth,
Squad's in the
lives
safe
in the
zone.
English fort, and is received of the most pious Edward with such grace that the malevolence of fortune nothing takes from his high respect. Thither MacDuff is gone to pray the holy king upon the aid to wake Northumberland and warlike seaward, that by the help of these, with him above, to ratify the work, we may again give to our tables meat, sleep to our nights, free them our feasts and banquets bloody knives, do faithful homage and receive free honors, all which we pine for now. And this report hath so exasperate the king that he prepares for some attempt at war. Sent he to MacDuff? He did, and with an absolute not I, the cloudy messenger turns me his back, and hums, as who should say, you'll rue the time that clogs me with this answer. And that well might advise him to a caution to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel fly to the court of England and unfold his message ere he come, that a swift blessing his message ere he come, that a swift blessing may soon return to his our suffering country under a hand accursed. I'll send my prayers with him.
Reloading.
Took a round. I got you. Thanks.
Alright, how now? Act 4, Macbeth.
Safe zone relocated.
Scene 1, a cavern in the middle of boiling cauldron. Thrice the brinding cat hath mewed. Thrice and once the hedge pig mined. Harper cries, 'tis time, 'tis time. Round about the cauldron go, and the poison entrails throw. Toads that under cold stone, days and nights, hast 31 sweltered venom sleeping got. Boil thou first the charmed pot. Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Fillet of finny snake in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blind worm's sting, lizard's leg and hallet's wing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a bell trough boil and bubble. Double toil and trouble, fire burn, cauldron bubble. Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf of the raven salt sea shark. Root of hemlock dig, eye the dark river, a blaspheming Jew. Gall of goat and slip of yew, slivered in the moon's eclipse. Nose of Turk and Tartar's lips, finger of birth's stangled babe, ditch delivered by a drab. Make the gruel thick in a slab, add thereto a tiger's chaldron, for the ingredients of a cauldron. Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Cool it with the baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good. Out. Oy, well done. I commend your pains, and every one shall hear the gains. And now about the cauldron sing, like elves and fairies in a ring, enchanting all that you put in. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open locks whoever knocks. How now, you secret black and midnight hags, what ish you do? A deed without a name? I conjure you by that which you profess, however you come to know it. Answer me. Though you untie the winds and let them fight against the churches, though the yes-sea waves confound and swallow navigation up, though bladed corn be lodged and trees blown down, though castles topple on their wardens' heads, though palaces and pyramids do slope their heads to their foundations, though the treasure of nature's Germans tumble all together, even till destruction sicken, answer me to what I ask you. Speak.
Change your mind.
Demand. Will answer. Say if thou'st rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters. Call 'em, let me see 'em. Poor and soul's blood and hath eaten her 9 feral grease that's sweating from the murders give it a throw into the flame. Office, come high or low, thyself in office, death show. Nay, that would be a lie. First apparition. Tell me, thou unknowing power. He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but say thou not. Macbeth, 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 beware Macduff. Beware the Thane of Fife, dismiss him enough. Whate'er thou art for thy good caution, thanks. Thou hast harped my fear aright. But one word more. He will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first. Macbeth, 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 had I 3 ears I'd hear thee. Be bloody, bold, and resolute, laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth. Then live, Macduff, what need thy fear of thee? But yet I'll make assurance double sure, and make a bond of fate thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder. What is this that rises like the issue of a king, and wears upon his baby brow the round and top of sovereignty? Listen, but speak not to it. Be lion-mettled, proud, and take no care who chafes, who frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquish be until great Britain would be high Dunsinnan hill shall come against him. What will never be? Who can impress the forest, bid the tree, and fix his earth-bound root? Sweet those roots, good. Rebellion's head rise never to the wood of burn and rise, and our high place Macbeth shall live the lease of nature, pay the breath, deny the most custom, yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me if you art can tell so much, shall Banquo issue over reign in this kingdom? Seek to know more. I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall on you. Let me know. Why sinks that cauldron, and what noise is this? Show, show, show. Show his eyes, and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart. Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo, down. Thy crown does sear mine eyeballs, and thy hair, thou other gold-bound brow, is like the first. A third is like the former, filthy hags. Why do you circle my house? Why do you show me this? I don't. A fourth, start eyes. What will the line stretch out of the crack of doom? Another yet, a seventh, I'll see no more. And yet the eighth appears, who bears a glass which shows me many more. And some I see that twofold balls and tremble scepters carry. Horrible sight, now I see 'tis true. For the blood-bolted Banquo smiles upon me, and points at them for his. What, is this so? Aye, sir, and all this is so, but why stands Macbeth thus amazedly? Come, sisters, cheer we up his sprites, and show the best of our delights. I'll charm the air to give a sound, while you perform your antic round, that this great king may kindly say our duties bid his welcome pay. Where are they? Gone? Let this pernicious hour stand I accursed in the calendar. Come in without there. What your grace will. Saw you the weird sisters? No, my lord, came they not by you? No, indeed, my lord. Infected by the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of horse, who was come by. 'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word Macduff has fled to England. Fled to England. Aye, my good lord. Time thou anticipatest my dread exploits. The flighty purpose never is o'ertook, unless the deed go with it. From this moment the very first things of my heart shall be the first things of my hand, and even now, to crown my thoughts with acts, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise, seat upon Fife, give to the edge of the sword, his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before this purpose cool. But no more sights. Where are these gentlemen? Come, bring me where they are. Scene 2. Fife, Macduff's castle. There he is. What had he done to make him fly the land? A bolt of lightning. You must have patience, madam. He had done his flight was madness, when our actions do not our fears to make us traitors. You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear. Wisdom, to leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion, and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly? He loves us not. He wants a natural touch for the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds. Will fight her young ones in her nest against the cow. All is the fear, nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom where the flight, so runs against all reason. My dearest coz, I pray you, school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows if it's or the season. I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times when we are traitors, and do not know ourselves when we hold rumour. From what we fear, yet know not what we fear. But float upon a wild and violent sea, each way and move. I take my leave of you. Shall not be long, but I'll be here again. Things at the worst will cease, or else climb upward to what they were before. My pretty cousin, blessing upon you. Father he is, and yet he's fatherless. I am so much a fool should I stay longer. It would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once. Sarah, your father's dead, and what will you do now? How will you live? As birds do, mother? What, with worms and flies? With what I get, I mean, and so do they. Poor bird, thou'st never fear the net nor time. The pitfall nor the grin. Why should I, mother? Poor birds, they are not set for. My father is not dead, for all your saying. Yes, he is dead. How wilt thou do for a father? Nay, how will you do for a husband? Why, I can buy me 20 in any market. Then you'll buy 'em to sell again. Thou speakest with all thy wit, and yet I faith, who wit enough for thee? Was my father a traitor, mother? Aye, that he was. What is a traitor? Why, one that swears and lies. And be all traitors that do so? Every one that does so is a traitor, and must be hanged. And must they all be hanged that swear and lie? Every one. Who must hang them? Why, the honest men. Then the liars and swearers are fools, for there are liars and swearers enow to beat the honest man and hang 'em them. Now God help thee, poor monkey, but how wilt thou do for a father? If he were dead, you'd weep for him. If you would not, it were a good sign that I should quickly have a new father. Poor Pratcher, how thou talkest! Bless you, fair dame, I am not to you known, though in your state of honor I am perfect. I doubt some danger doth approach you nearly. If you will take a homely man's advice, be not found here. Hence, with you, little ones, to fright you thus, methinks I am too savage. To do worse to you were all fell cruelty, which is too nigh your person. Heaven preserve you, I dare abide no longer. Whither should I fly? I have done no harm, but I remember now I am in this earthly world, where to do harm is often laudable, to do good sometimes accounted dangerous folly. Why then, alas, do I put up this womanly defense, to say I have done no harm? What are these faces? Where is your husband? I hope in no place so unsatisfied, sanctified, where such as thou mayest find them. He's a traitor. Thou liest, thou shag-haired villain. What, you egg? Young fry of treachery! He has killed me, mother. Run away, I pray you. Scene 3, England, before the king's palace. Bro. I can't wait. Let us speak out some desolate shade, out there weep our sad bosoms empty. I'll keep messing with that ark, bitch. Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men bestride our downfalls and birthdom. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face, and it resounds as if it felt with Scotland's, and yelled out like syllable of dolour. What I believe I will, what no believe, and what I can redress, as I shall find the time to friend, I will. What you have spoke, it may be so perchance. This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He has not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease any angry god. I am not treacherous, but Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge, but I shall crave your pardon. That which my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell. Though all things foul would wear the brows of grace, yet grace must still look so. I have lost my hopes. Perchance even there where I find him, my doubts. Why in that rawness left you wife and child? Those precious motives, those strong knots of love without leave taking. I pray you, let not my jealousies be your dishonours, but my own safeties, yet you may be rightly just, whatever I shall think. Bleed, bleed, you poor country, a great tyranny, lay thou thy basis sure, for goodness dares not check thee. Where thou thy wrongs, the title is afeard, fare thee well, lord. I would not be the villain that thou thinkest, for the whole space doth in the tyrant's grasp, and the rich east to boot. Be not offended, I speak not as an absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash it added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right, and here from gracious England have I offer of goodly thousands. But for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head, or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer, and more sundry ways than ever. By him that shall succeed. What should he be? It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice so grafted, that when they shall be open, black Macbeth will seem as pure as snow, and the poor state esteem him as a lamb, being compared with my confineless harms. Not in the legions of horrid hell can come to a devil more damned in evils to top Macbeth. I grant him bloody, luxurious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that has a name, but there's no bottom, none. In my voluptuousness your wives, your daughters, your matrons, and your maids could not fill up the cistern of my lust, and my desire all content impediments would o'erbear. That did oppose my will, better Macbeth than such an one to reign. Boundless intemperance in nature is a tyranny. It hath been the untimely emptying of the happy throne, and fall of many kings. But fear not yet to take upon you what is yours. You may convey your pleasures in a spacious plenty, and yet seem cold. The time you may so hoodwink, we have willing dames enough, there cannot be that vulture in you, to devour so many as will to greatness dedicate themselves, finding it so inclined. With this that grows in my most ill-composed affection, such a stanchous avarice, that were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire his jewels, and this offers house. And my more having would be as a sauce to make me hunger more, that I would forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for wealth. This avarice sticks deeper, grows with more pernicious root than summer seeming lust, and it hath been the sword of our slain kings. Yet do not fear. Scotland hath foisons to fill up your will, of your mere own. All these are portable, with other graces weighed. But I have none, the keen becoming graces, as justice, verity, temperance, stableness, bounty, perseverance, mercy, lowliness, devotion, patience, courage, fortitude. I have no relish of them, but abound in the division of each several crime, acting in many ways. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, and pour the universal peace confound all unity on earth. O Scotland, Scotland, if such a one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I have spoken. Fit to govern? No, not to live. O nation miserable, with an untitled tyrant bloody sceptred, when shalt thou see thy wholesome days again, since the trust issue of thy throne by his own interdiction stands accursed, and does blasphemy his breed? Thy royal father was a most saintly king. The queen that bore thee, oftener upon her knees than on her feet, died every day she lived. Fare thee well. These evils thou repeatest upon thyself have banished me from Scotland. Oh, my breast, thy hope ends here. Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul whipped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth, by many of these trains hath sought to win me into his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from over-credulous haste. But God above, deal between thee and me, for even now I put myself to thy direction, and unspeak my own detraction were here abjured the taints and blames I laid upon myself. For strangers to my nature, I am yet unknown to women. Never was forsworn, scarcely have coveted what was mine own. At no time broke from my faith, would not betray the devil to his fellow, and delight no less in truth than life. My first false speaking with this upon myself. What I am truly in thine and my poor country is to command, whither indeed before thy here approach, old Syward, when 10,000 warlike men already at point was setting forth. Now will together, and the chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent? Such welcome and unwelcome things at once 'tis hard to reconcile. Well, more anon. Comes the king forth, I pray you? Aye, sir, there are crew of wretched souls that stay his cure. Their malady convinces the great assay of art. But at his touch such sanctity hath heaven given his hand, that presently amend. No, I thank you, doctor. What's the disease he means? 'Tis called the evil, a most miraculous work in this good king, which often since my here remain in England I have seen him do. How he slits his heaven, himself best knows, but strangely visited people all swollen and ulcerous, pitiful in the eye, the more despair of surgery he cures, hanging a golden stamp about their necks, put on with holy prayers, and 'tis spoken to the succeeding royalty he leaves so healing benediction. With this strange virtue he hath a heavenly gift of prophecy, and sundry blessings hang about his throne that speak him full of grace. See, who comes here? My countryman, but yet I know him not. My ever gentle cousin, welcome hither. I know him now. Good God, betimes remove the means that make us strangers. Sir, amen. Stand Scotland where it did? Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself, it cannot be called our mother, but our grave, where nothing but who knows nothing is nothing once seen to smile, where sighs and groans and shrieks that rent the air are made not marked, where violent sorrow seems a modern ecstasy. The dead man's knell is there scarce asked for who, and good men's lives expire before the flowers in their caps, dying or ere they sicken. Oh, relation too nice and yet too true. What's the newest grief? That of an hour's age doth hiss the speaker. Each minute teems a new one. How does my wife? Why, well. And all my children? Well, too. The tyrant has not battered at their peace. No, they were well at peace when I did leave him. Be not a negative of speech, how goest? When I come hither to transport the tidings which I have heavily borne, there ran a rumour of many worthy fellows that were out, which was to my belief witness the rather for that I saw the tyrant's power afoot. Now is the time of help, your eye in Scotland would create soldiers make our women flight to doff their dire distresses. Be it their comfort, we are coming thither, gracious England hath lent us good Seward and 10,000 men, an older and a better soldier none than Christendom gives out. Would I could answer this comfort with the like, but I have words that would be howled out in the desert air, where hearing should not latch them. What concern they? The general cause? Or is it a fee grief due to some single breast? No mind that's honest, but it shares some woe, though the main part pertains to you alone. If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly let me have it. Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard. I guess that's it. Your castle surprised, your wife and babe savagely slaughtered, to relate the manner whereon the quarry of these murdered deer, to add the death of you. Merciful heaven, what man ne'er pull your hat upon your brows, give sorrow words, the grief that does not speak, whispers the o'erfraught heart that bids it break. My children too? Wife, children, servants, all that could be found, and I must be from thence. My wealth killed too? I have said, be comforted, let's make us medicine of a great revenge to cure this deadly grief. He has no children, all my pretty ones. Did you say all? Oh, hell kite. Oh, what, all my pretty chickens and their dam at one fell swoop? Dispute it like a man. I shall do so, but I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such a things were, that were most precious to me did heaven look on, what would not take their part. Sinful Macduff. They were all struck for thee, not that I am, not for their own demerits, but for mine, fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now. Be this a whetstone of your sword, let grief convert to anger, blunt not the heart, and rage it. Oh, I could play the woman with my eyes, and beget with my tongue, but gentle heavens. Cut short all intermission, front to front, bring now this fiend of Scotland and myself within my sword length set him, if he escape heaven forgive him too. This tune goes manly, come, go with me to the king, our power is ready, our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may, that night is long that never finds one day. Okay, Macbeth, Act 5, Scene 1, Dunsinane, a room in the castle. I have 2 nights' watch with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked? Since his majesty went into the field. I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and again return to bed. Yet all this while in a most fast sleep. A great perturbation in nature, to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching, and this slumbery agitation besides her walking and other factual performances. What at any time have you heard her say? That, sir, which I would not report after her. You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should. Neither to you nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. By no means. Lo you! Here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep, observe her. Stand close. How came she by that light? Why, I stood by her. She has light by her continually, 'tis her command. You see her eyes are open. Aye, but the senses shut. What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands. It is an accustomed action with her to seem thus washing her hands. I have known her to continue this a quarter of an hour. Yet there's a spot. Hark, she speaks. I will let down what comes from her to satisfy my remembrance the most strongly. I know exactly which painting you're talking about. Out! Damn spot out, I say. 1, 2. Why then 'tis time to't. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie, soldier and afeard. What need me fierce knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have such a blood on him? Do you mark that? The thane of Fife and his wife? Where is she now? What, will these lands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with the starting. Go to, you have known what you should not. She has spoke what she should not, I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known. Here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Oh. What a sigh is there. The heart is sorely charged. I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of this whole body. Well. Pray God it be, sir. This disease is beyond my practice, yet I have known those which I have walked in their sleep, who have died holily in their beds. Wash your hands, put on your nightgown, look not so pale. I tell you not again, McQuo is buried, he cannot come out from his grave. Even so, to bed! There's knocking at the gate, come. Give me your hand. What is done cannot be undone. To bed. Will she go now to bed? Directly. Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds through their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. More need she has divine than the physician. God, forgive us all. Look after her, or remove from her the means of all annoyance, and still keep eyes upon her. So good night. My mind she has mated, and amazed my sight, I think but dare not speak. Good night, good doctor. Scene 2. The country near Dunsinane. The English power is near, led on by Malcolm, his uncle Seward, and the good MacBeth for vengeance burn in them, and for their causes would do the bleeding with a grim alarm, excite the mortified man. Near Burnham Wood shall we meet them. That way are they coming. Who knows if Donalbain be with his brother? For certain, sir, he is not. I've a file of all the gentry. There's a Seward's son, and many unthrough youths that even now protest their first of manhood. What does the tyrant? That heartbeat on my eyeball. Great Dunsinane he strongly fortifies, some say he's mad. Others that lesser hate him do call it valiant fury, but for certain he cannot buckle his distempered cause within the belt of rule. Now does he feel his secret murders sticking on his hands? Now minutely revolts unbraid his faith breach. Those he commands move only my command. Nothing in love. What is this? Now does he feel his title hang loose about him, like a giant's robe upon a dwarfish thief? Who then shall blame his pestered senses to recoil and start, when all that is within him does condemn itself for being where? Well, march we on, to give obedience where 'tis truly owed. Meet with the medicine of the sickly wheel, and with him pour we in the country's purge and drop of us. Or so much as it needs to do the sovereign flower, and drown the weeds, make we our march towards Burnham.
My opponent. I'm not impressed.
Scene 3. Dunsinane in room in the castle. It's a bat. It's the end of a bat. Like if you were to hold a bat and hit the end of it, and you're that's what it is. Bring me no more reports. Let them fly all. Tell Burnham Wood removed to Dunsinane. I cannot taint with fear. What's the boy Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, MacBeth, no man, the born of woman, shall ever have power upon thee. Then fly false thanes, and mingle with the English epicure. And mind I sway by, and the heart I bear shall never sag with doubt, nor shake with fear. The devil damn thee black, thou creamed-faced loon, where got'st thou and goose look? There's 10,000. Geese, villain! Soldier, sir, go prick thy face, and overrid thy fear. Thou lily-livered boy, what soldiers patch? Death of thy soul, those linen cheeks of thine are counselors to fear. What soldiers? Way face? The English forest so please you, what the fuck? Take thy face hence. Satan, I am sick at heart when I behold. Satan, I say, this push will cheer me ever, dissat me now. I have lived long enough, my way of life has fallen into the seer. The yellow leaf, and that which should accompany old age. As honor, love, obedience, troops of friends, I must not look to have, but in their steed curses not loud but deep. Mouth honor brief, which the poor heart would fain deny and dare not. Satan! Enter Clayton. What is your gracious pleasure? Nay, what news more? All is confirmed, my lord, which is reported. I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me my armor. 'Tis not needed yet. I'll put it on. Send out more horses, scur the country round, hang those that talk of fear. Give me thy armor. How does your patient doctor? Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick-coming fancies that keep her from her rest. Cure her of that? Canst thou not minister mind disease, pluck from the memory a rooted sorrow? Raise out the written troubles of the brain, and with some sweet, oblivious antidote cleanse the stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff which weighs upon the heart? Therein the patient must minister to himself. Throw physique to the dogs, I'll none of it. Come, put mine armor on, give me my staff. Clayton, send out. Doctor, the things fly from me. Come, sir, dispatch. If thou couldst, doctor, cast the water of my hand, find your disease, and purge it to the sound and pristine health, I would applaud thee to the very echo that should applaud again. Pull it off, I say. What rhubarb, signa, or what purgative drug would scour these English hints? Hear'st thou of them? Aye, my good lord, your royal preparation makes us hear something. Bring it after me, I will not afraid of death in vain, till Burnham Forest came to Dunsinane. Arrived from Dunsinane away and clear, profit again should hardly draw me here. Scene 4. Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand. Like, what the fuck? The chambers will be safe. We doubt that nothing. What wood is this before us? The wood of Burnham. Let every soldier hew him down a bow and bear before him. Thereby shall we shatter the numbers of our host and make discovery ere and report of us. It shall be done. We learn no other but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane and will endure our setting down before it. 'Tis his main hope, for were this advantage to be given, both men and less have given him the revolt, and none serve him but constrain things whose hearts are absent too. Let our just censures attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership. The time approaches that will with due decision make us know that we shall say where we have thoughts speculative, that unsure hopes relate with certain issues, strokes most arbitrate towards which advance the war. Scene 5. Dunsinane within the castle. Hang out our banners on the coward walls. The cry is still. They come. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here let them lie till famine and the ague eat them up. Were they not forced with those that should be ours, we might have met them dearful, beard to beard, and beat them backward home. What is that noise? It is the cry of woman, my good lord. I have almost forgot the taste of fear. The time has been my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my fell of hair would a dismal treatise rouse and stirs life rent. I have supped full with horrors, direness familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot once start me? Wherefore was that cry? The queen, my lord, is dead. She could have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to this last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools. The way to dusty death, out a brief candle, life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou comest to use thy tongue, thy story quickly. Gracious, my lord, I shall report that which I saw, but know not how to do it. Well, say, sir, as I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked towards Birnam, and anon methought the wood began to move. Liar and slave! Let me endure your wrath, if it be not so. Within this 3 miles may you see it coming, I say a moving grove. If thou speakest false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive, till famine clean thee, if thy speech be sooth. I care not if thou dost for me as much. I pull in resolution and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not, a Burnham wood, who comes Dunsinane, and now a wood comes through a Dunsinane. Arm, and out! If this which he avouches does appear, there is nor flying hence, nor tarrying here. I gin to be aweary of the sun, and wish the estate or the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell, blow, wind, come, rack. At least we'll die with harness on our back. Scene 6, the same, a plain before the castle. Now, near enough, your levy screens throw down, and show like those you are. You worthy uncle, shall with my cousin, your right noble son, lead our first battle? Worthy Macduff and we shall take upon us what else remains to do, according to our orders. Fare you well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight, let us be beaten if we cannot fight. Make all our trumpets speak, give them all breath, those clamorous harbingers of blood and death. Scene 7, the same, another part of the plain. They have tied me to a stake, I cannot fly, but bear-like I must fight the course. What's he that was not born of a woman? Such a one am I to fear, none.
Run circles around you.
What is thy name? Thou be afraid to hear it. No, thou callest thyself a hotter name than any is in hell. My name's Macbeth. The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to my ear. No, nor more fearful. Thou liest, a bored tyrant. With my sword I'll prove the lie thou speakest. Thou wast born of woman, but swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn, brandished by man as of a woman born. That way the noise is, tyrant, show thy face. If thou be'st slain with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghost will haunt me still. I cannot strike at wretched kerns, whose arms are hired to bear their staves. Either thou Macbeth, or else my sword with an unbattered edge I sheath again unbeaded. There thou shouldst be. By this great clatter one of greatest note seems bruited. Let me find him, fortune, and more I beg not. This way, my lord, the castle is gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes do bravely in the war. The day almost itself professes yours, and little is to do. We have met with foes that strike beside us. Enter through the castle. Why should I play the Roman's fool and die on my own sword, whilst I see lives and gashes do better upon them? Turn, hellhound, turn. Of all men else, I have avoided thee. But get thee back. My soul's too much charged with blood of thine already. I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloodier villain. Then terms can give thee out. Thou loosest labor. As easy mayest thou the interchint air with a keen sword impress as make me bleed. Let fall thy blade on vulnerable crest. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born. Despair thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee, MacBeth was from his mother's womb untimely ripped. Accursed be that tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed my better part of man. And be these juggling fiends no more believed, that palter with us in a double sense, that keep the word of promise to our ear, and break it to our hope. I'll not fight with thee. Then yield thee, coward, and live to the show and gaze of the time. We will have thee, as our rarer monsters are, painted upon a pole and under wit. Here may you see the tyrant. I will not yield. To kiss the ground before you Malcolm's feet, and so be baited with the rabble's curse. Though Burnham would become to Dunsinane, you thou oppose being of no woman born. Yet I will try the last, before my body I throw my warlike shield. Lay on MacBeth, and damned be him, the first cries, hold enough. I would the friends we missed were safe arrived. Some must go off, and yet by these I see, so great a day as this is cheaply bought. MacBeth is missing, and your noble son. Your son, my lord, has paid a soldier's debt. He's only lived but till he was a man, the which no sooner has his prowess confirmed in the unshrinking station where he fought, but like a man he died. Then he is dead. Aye, and bought off the field. Your cause of sorrow must not be measured by his worth, for then it hath no end. Hath his hurt before? Aye, on the front. Why then God's soldier be he. Had I as many sons as I have heirs, I would not wish them to a fair death, and so his knell is knolled. He's worth more sorrow than I'll spend for him. He's worth no more. They say he parted well and paid his score, and so God be with him. Here comes newer comfort. Hail, king, for so thou art. Behold where stands the usurper's cursed head. The time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, that speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland. Hail, King of Scotland. We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves, and make us even with you. My thanes and kinsmen henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland such an honor named. What's more to do, which would be plented newly with the time, has calling home our exiled friends abroad, that fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought, by self and violent hands took off her life, this and what needful else would cause upon us. By the grace of grace we will perform in measure, time, and place. So, thanks to all at once and to each one whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.